Weighing on. Senator Rick Scott's with us. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. I think cruising the coast would be nice.
Cruising the coast, if you haven't been, it has become the number one car collectors event in the United States of America, with literally tens of thousands of vehicles from across America and several from outside the country in different countries coming in to show their cars all across the entire coast. It's been growing every single year. It's just absolutely amazing. How are you doing?
Great. Isn't that fun?
What's your itinerary? Are you stopping over in the great state of Mississippi for a visit?
Yep, I'm going to be in there this afternoon, just a little bit. Just talking to people who care about the senatorial races. John Lundy's put together an event with me, so it'll be fun. You know, I'm the chair of the National Republican Senatorial Committee, so my responsibility. I'm doing what Roger Wicker did a few years ago. We've got a 2-year commitment to help make sure we get back the majority. And I think people are energized. The Biden agenda is very unpopular, and we've got great candidates running across the country. So I'm helping them, raising money, making sure we get a majority so we can rescue this country.
God bless you. Listen, I love what you did as far as the 12-point plan. And I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've talked about that over the years when Gingrich put his contract with America. I just think we have a mindset in this country, more now than even back in those days. That's what people want, something real simplistic. Show me what you're going to do, tell me what you're going to do, and keep telling me. Let it brand in my mind. I think it's a great idea.
You know, when I ran, I'm a business guy, so I built businesses all my life. When I ran for governor back in 2010, I said I have a 7-step plan for 700,000 jobs over 7 years. It was the biggest issue in the country right then. We'd lost jobs. And I don't care if you asked me the weather, I talked about what I was going to do. That's what we've got to do. We've got to tell people what we're going to do, and then when we win the majority, we've got to go do it. We've got to rescue this country. So it's common sense things. We've got to start teaching our kids that this is the greatest country in the world. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Learn the oath. And so all these things, we got to stop this racial divide. The government shouldn't be asking us the color of our skin. We got to have a secure border. We got to stop socialism. We got to reduce our taxes. We got to reduce the size of government. So I've got a very detailed plan. You can go to rescueamerica.com, look at it. You can text America to 22404 or 22044 and look at it. But we've got to rescue this country. So I have 3 jobs right now. 1, be a good senator from the great state of Florida. Number 2, make sure we get a majority back in the Senate. Number 3, create a conversation about what we're going to do when we get a majority, so we have a plan when we do it to do something about it.
Make it simple and do it over and over and over again. That's what you've got to do. You don't have to go into great details unless somebody asks you, but it's got to be said. I said the same thing back when we were battling the Obamacare and the Republicans were in charge. We got a chance to say, all right, here's our health care plan, and here's what we're going to do. Make it simple. You didn't have to get into details, but they never did that. The Republicans never did it.
No, I mean, it's really pretty simple. You ought to, on health care, give people the power to make their own decisions. I mean, I love my mom. I grew up in a very poor family. We lived in public housing. I hated her telling me what to do. You don't need government to tell you how to buy your health care. You need government to make sure there's a good system, there's good options out there, and good hospitals. But other than that, you can figure this out on your own. You know what you need in health care. You don't need government to say, oh, no, you have to buy this. You're not smart enough to buy this stuff right, so we're going to tell you exactly what to do. You don't need that. Let people make their own decisions.
We were just talking about that yesterday. We had the state health officer on, and I said, I don't understand why we don't talk more about the personal savings account or health accounts and let people make those decisions. It works, and nobody ever brings that up. Hey, look, did you see it was I think it was last week, there was a poll, and I forgot who it was from, but it was pretty notable, that the Democrats in their poll that they took held a 4-point lead if the election were today?
Well, first off, remember, polls are done for the benefit of
I understand that.
People raise money. Right now, there's so much energy for Republicans. Just think about some of these things. In the primary in Ohio, twice as many people voted Republican than Democrat. For the first time since 1998, more people voted Republican than Democrat in Pennsylvania in the primary. In North Carolina, 145,000 more Republicans. In Georgia, I think it was 450,000 more Republicans. There's so much energy. People are so sick and tired. The Biden agenda of 9% inflation, $30 trillion of debt, all these things. They're sick and tired of it.
Well, I kind of, and I said on the air too on the network, I didn't mind seeing that poll because I think it will keep the Republican Party on their feet and understand this is not a given. You've got to work hard and get this thing done.
Oh, Paul, it's not a given. You know how you win races? You work your butt off every day. You tell people exactly what you're going to do, and you go talk to people. I mean, in my 8 years as governor of Florida, I shook hands with 500,000 people. That's how I won my Senate race in 2018, because everybody knew me. I mean, I traveled the whole state for 8 solid years, going to at least 2 cities a day for almost 5 days a week for 8 years. That's how people got to know me. That's what we have to do. You have to go to get to know people, listen to them, have them tell you what they believe in and what they don't believe in, and be able to engage in all the issues. That's what we ought to be doing in this country.
Yeah.
I'm willing to talk about anything because I ought to be able to tell you exactly what I want to do so I don't surprise you when I get in there.
U.S. Senator from Florida, Senator Rick Scott, are you worried about them building up another crisis as far as the pandemic and going back to the quarantines and using the flexibility of the voting? How do we stop that?
They want to make it. Yeah. Well, I think what we have to do is we have to be very honest and say, I mean, don't buy into their stuff. I mean, we've got to go out there and be very honest. We got to hold people like Fauci accountable. We got to hold our government accountable. We got to quit. If they're saying something that's wrong, we got to call them out for it. I mean, we have to be a jerk about it, but you tell people that's wrong. I mean, we don't. I mean, by the way, where did you get that information? Fauci goes out there, no, don't wear a mask, and he tells you to wear a mask. I mean, it was so inconsistent, and why the American public listened to this guy makes no sense because he was completely inconsistent.
Even to the point yesterday, a day before yesterday, he said he's going to retire, but he's not going to leave. I forgot what he said, but it was about as confusing as what he said about COVID. So how do you think this thing is going to play out with Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump?
Oh, I have no idea. I think who knows. I mean, DeSantis has a governor's race. I don't know who. I don't know who, but I think there's going to be a lot of people that want to run. And people, everybody has an idea how they think they can, run this country better. So I think there'll be a lot of people that run both. I think there's going to be a lot of people both on the Democrat and the Republican side. I don't think Joe Biden's in a very weak position. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. But the truth is, we ought to focus on 42. It's the most important thing right now. We got to get a majority in the House and the Senate. I think Kevin McCarthy, Steve Scalise, Tom Emmer are doing a great job on the House side. On our side, we got great candidates. We just got to raise our money. I mean, Democrats are raising a lot of money, so it's our job to raise our money, get our message out, run good races, and we'll get a majority. Then we can govern.
If the Republicans do get a majority, is Mitch McConnell safe?
Who knows? The way this will happen is there's there'll be a vote for the leader. They generally try to do it right a week after the November elections. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I think everybody has to go. You have to go sell yourself. What are you going to do? I think it's very important that we tell people what we're going to do and then go do it. I like what what Newt did, because Newt said, "Hey, you elect us. We're going to do these things."
Yeah.
And so then when they won, they had a game plan. Everybody said, "Hey, I signed on to that, so I'm going to get it done." The only thing they didn't get done, I think, was term limits, which I think was a mistake. We need to have term limits. And by the way, not just for politicians, we ought to have it for the bureaucrats. I mean, our country is supposed to be a country where people go off and do something else, come in and serve in government for a while, and go back and do something else. Don't be career politicians.
But what these Democrats have done with the gavel, the power of the gavel in these hearings, it's been criminal in the House and the Senate.
Oh, yeah, that's the way it works. And whoever has a majority, the other party does not get a vote on anything. You get no votes. I mean, so right now, Chuck Schumer does not allow me to have a vote on anything. Mm-hmm. So I'm stuck with whatever he wants to vote on. He can make us vote on the craziest things, I can have the best idea in the world. He won't let us vote on it.
Yeah.
So what you learn is you've got to get a majority. We've got to have a majority up there.
By the way, the mayor of Washington, D.C. is not too happy with two states, Texas and Florida, by sending all of those people to Washington. Shame on you guys for sending busloads.
I'm on the Homeland Security Committee. It makes you mad that they've just opened up this border, and then Secretary Mayorkas of Homeland Security said, "Oh, the border's secure." No, it's not. And then we had a testimony yesterday from the guy that runs TSA. You can be an illegal immigrant, come across the border with no ID, and you can be on a commercial flight that afternoon.
Yeah, that's true. Look, I wish we had more time. I really do. Safe travels on your trip to Mississippi, and love to talk to you again, sir.
All right, take care. Have a good day.
You got it. Senator Rick Scott.